It was so cold last night, I woke up at 5 a.m.
I can't get up.
But today is a special day. Today I'm doing a 36-hour live stream and just sharing the life of living in the van while converting it. You can't start the morning without a coffee, and it was that cold, I just wanted to find some sort of warmth. And this definitely helped. And I did crack a window open to ensure I had good airflow. So first I make the coffee, and then I sit there talking to the chat for a while. And then it's time for breakfast. Here I've got some Heinz baked beans. I heat them up on my camping stove. This isn't part of the usual diet, but it was quick and easy. And at the minute I'm still eating very unhealthy, as you're about to see. And those beans didn't quite satisfy me, so we head over to Tim Hortons.
Hi, can I take your order, please?
Can I have a vanilla latte, please? A bacon and egg muffin, please.
What's right next vanilla, please?
Alright, thank you.
Let's try the drink.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
It was hard to resist the breakfast for £1 when you pay for a full price coffee. Once I finished my delicious food, it was time to open a package that was my electrical conduit. After this, we ended up driving to the car park where I wanted to do some work, and I was so fed up with the mess I thought I'd have a little reorg and try and create some sort of room for me while I'm working. I moved some of the boxes in the front, hoping this would make it easier to move stuff around in the back. Once this was complete, the next task of the day was to work on the bed. If I'm honest, I don't have an exact plan. My plan is simply to create a bed that doesn't need middle support. I also want to ensure that I have enough feet and headroom, as if I was to do it up to the wall, I definitely would not have enough. So I'm going to create a little indent, or whatever I'd like to call it, where I will have extra head and foot room. Again, I'm no expert, so if you have any tips or you can help in any way, please leave comments below. I may have mentioned it before, but I have 4 M10 bolts that are holding up the base, and these bolts are held into the van by a rivet nut. One thing I did end up noticing was that the base beam is a little lower than I wanted, so I'm going to have to make some sort of modification to raise the bed. But also at the same time, I don't want to raise the bed too much, because the higher I have the bed, the more it's going to block the rear window. Problems, problems, problems. That's why we do this, right? And all of this problem solving means I now need that coffee break. We're about 5 hours into my live stream. We're making the bed frame. I'm just taking a bit of a coffee break. It's a beautiful day today, but it is also very cold. So the sun's out, but it's cold. So I have here my heater to warm my hands. And here I am boiling the water to make my coffee. So let's get on with it. So once I finished making the coffee and I managed to warm up my hands, it was time to get back to the work. So something I did think about was just putting a wood on top of the other one, but I realized that's still not quite tall enough. So I felt I needed something in between. And the more I extend this bed higher, I feel like the less stable it will be. So a lot of what I'm doing here is just problem solving, trying to figure out how I'm going to raise the level and how I'm going to do it in a strong and structured way. And again, if you guys have any ideas, please leave your tips in the comments. And if you're enjoying this content and you want to be part of this journey as I build my dream home, please consider hitting that like and subscribe so you don't miss any more content as I release these videos daily. So this is the solution I decided to go with, and I will obviously eventually have some sort of mid-beam that gives it that extra support between the two sides. But while I'm working this out, I actually realise when the bracket goes on, it means the bed is lower than I wanted it to be. So I thought, how can I make this even taller without having to make the legs taller? I'm not sure if that makes sense to you guys, but hopefully as you watch this video, you'll understand what I'm saying. So the solution I decided to go with at this point was to put another wood on top of this wood, which I feel like would be stronger than making longer legs. So I cut another beam that can sit on top, and this is how I feel like it will be a stronger structure. I know you're going to say it's wasting wood and it's not the most efficient way, but for me, with this, how cheap this wood is, it just seemed like the best idea. This wood has actually costed me less than £2 per metre, so I feel like it's just worth using. I did find that this part of the task was very tedious, as I was constantly having to remove, replace, drill holes, screw, remove. It was just a lot of back and forth, back and forth. It's very tedious, which is why this time lapse is going to be going on for ages and you're not going to see much progress. Once it's put together, something else I plan on using is a M5 bolt going into the wall, which will then help stabilize it even more. The more you can stabilize it from lateral movement, the better. And I know I mentioned in the previous video, but those who haven't seen that yet, the beams I'm going to be using are called Skorva. They are from IKEA, and they are strong beams that are designed for double beds. And I plan to use 3 of these to make a double bed. Now, one of the problems with my Rivet Tool M5 stable plan is that the wall on this part of the van is very thin, and I don't want to drill through to the outside of the van. So I'm very limited to what rivet nuts I can use. An M5 looks like it just about fits. At this point though, I was getting hungry, it was starting to get late, so we decided to head back to our friend Tim Hortons for dinner. So let's go in and pick our food. But what I like about this place is there is a wide range selection. So I go with a jalapeno chicken stack and I get the banoffee latte.
Yeah, it seems
that is super naughty and bad, but oh well. It was absolutely delicious and I loved it. I also got the jalapeno and cheese fries, or frites, or whatever they are, potato chippy things. But I didn't stop there. I went with the banoffee deluxe donut as it was new, and I just had a banoffee latte, so I kind of had the flavour for it. Also, that was very delicious too. Those wondering why I'm eating so bad, I am having one last blowout before I start trying to eat healthy again, so I'm just enjoying some of the naughty foods. So I finish up by popping into Tesco and buying a few snacks. Starting with one of my favourites, which is a Yorkie biscuit. And of course the Fox's biscuits, which are also very nice. And a white chocolate milkshake. And a few essentials for the van. And then we pay for these. And off we go to the place we will stay for the night. It's still super cold, so I did light the fire. Again, I cracked a window. I have my carbon monoxide alarm just to make sure. And then what I decide to do is, hang on a minute. Why it's so cold? Let's build a little den. So I build a den with the insulation to try and keep me warm in the night, blocking all exits apart from this one, as you can see. And it did make a difference. And thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.